What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel if you're new here. My name is Connor. In today's video I'm going to talk about Fortnite and how I see it going in the future, what I don't like about the game and what I like about the game. If you're wondering why I'm going to keep looking down, it's because I have points written down here and what I want to talk about, just to make sure I don't forget about them, and so I glance over them so I know what the next point will be anyway. First off, I'd like to say I have a few hours in the game, probably 300, 400 hours. In those hours I probably have about 350 wins, I'd say, across all game modes. The first point I want to talk about that I don't like about the game is how they keep changing the building hit points. They keep lowering them, so new guns will just destroy them. Recently enough, though, I think they did balance it out by making the wood the weakest out of all the materials, and then how it should be, the steel has the most hit points when it's fully built, which is good. But against building HP, like things like C4 are actually good now, so you can actually blow up buildings with the C4, which is really, really good. Grenades, I think, are good against them as well. Obviously, as per usual, the noob tubes and the RPGs will just dominate them. The noob tube is a bit better though for buildings than the RPG. The RPG is more just close range explosive to just down or kill someone. It's good for damaging players anyway. The new stinker grenades, obviously they won't do any damage to the buildings because it's a grenade, a smoke grenade basically, with damage on it. Which, if you remember, it came in instead of the smoke grenade because the smoke grenade was useless when it first came out. The SMGs though, at the minute, are very, very overpowered. I feel I just keep getting killed by them every single game. Very close quarters combat with it, fast fire rate. You're going to get destroyed by it if you come up against it, simple as. There's no way you're going to outgun it. Unless you have the new sawed-off shotgun, if you're point blank with that. I think I was putting off 160 damage, and then just a follow-up shot or switch to a different gun, and you'll finish him off quickly. A really, really good gun. But the SMGs are too overpowered at the minute. They need to be nerfed. I feel there should be a really close cut-off point. 20 meters, I'd say. It does like its least amount of damage, and then after that it will do like 2, 3, whatever damage, like nothing. But that's what I think anyway. There's no like real balance in the game at the minute anyway. Like it's always just going to be one gun at a time. There'll be the shotguns were overpowered last season. This season will be the SMGs. They said they're going to try to fix them. They'll probably fix it by the end of the season, hopefully, because you need a variety in a game like a battle royale, or else the game's just going to go downhill because everyone's just going to be using one gun. More people are just going to get pissed off at the game because they keep getting killed by the same gun, which isn't good for your game if that's going to be happening. I feel though that things are being added to the game way too quickly. If you're going to keep adding things way too quickly, the game's going to go downhill because you've no room to improve. You can't add anything else. You're eventually going to run out of ideas and just start adding useless stuff to the game that you don't need. But yeah, they're adding things too quickly. You're going to run out of content. The game's going to be dry for a while. You're going to lose players. The player count will dip. Some players might come back. You never know. Some might not. But I think they're adding too much pointless stuff to the point when they add them, like the guided rocket launcher and the jetpack. When they came out, the guided rocket launcher was a bit overpowered. Like it was broken to the point. At the end of the match, there's no way you're going to compete it. Then they had to just add it straight to the vault like 2 weeks, 3 weeks later or something like that. But there's no point if you're trying to fix your game and then you just keep adding pointless stuff like that to just add it straight to the vault. There's no point to adding stuff. You might as well just fix the game first instead of adding more content. That way it will draw more players back to the game, I feel, who have left, who want to come back to the game, or even new players might entice them to play the game if they see that this new object has come when the game is at a better point in the future of the development. Yeah, adding stuff to be vaulted is just pointless. Like you're just running out of time to fix the game because you're adding it to then take it out. Another thing though, when they add the things too quickly, there's more bugs keep cropping up when they do that. So they need to just slow down that a bit. They need to slow down adding stuff for the time being and just fix the game, work on the game, get it to a point where it's perfect, not a lot of bugs. Then release the new content and you'd be flying then, which I think would be good for the game, and that's how the development should be going, instead of just adding all this pointless stuff to be removed. The feeling though at the current time, don't see a lot being talked about the game. Like there used to be like the hype. I think came too quick for the game to the point now you're not going to outcompete yourself. You're not going to get the game a lot better than it already is. The only way you're going to get it better is fix the game and then gradually add stuff that's like not pointless. Like the ATKs, shopping carts, yeah, they're good. The ATKs get you in the store, but the shopping carts, there's no point for two vehicles if one's better than the other, if you know what I mean. But I think the hype came too fast for the game, and now it's in the stage where it's slowly dying. I keep hearing that a lot of players have dropped off the game. Don't know if this is true. It might be. Not sure. Haven't looked into it. But if you don't start fixing the game, instead of adding pointless stuff and adding them to the vault, the game will surely die, like I said. So that's all the problems I have with the game at the minute. Now I'll talk about what I think is great in the game. I think the additions to the map in the new season were great. Brought back the hype for a while with the new season. Everyone came back, they're like, oh, there's new stuff in the map, which is good. You have the new desert area, which is really, really cool. Haven't explored it fully. I've been there a few times. It's basically the second Tilted Towers. That's another thing with the game. Tilted is still like overpopulated, but it's still not like as bad as it used to be because everyone kind of goes to the new areas now still, which is good because normally that just dies down after the first 2 weeks of the season, but people still go to Paradise Palms, which is really, really good. I'm liking that they're adding a bit more variety to the game with all the new weapons, but like adding 3 SMGs one after another was a bit dumb because most of them are overbroken now, which they'll have to be nerfed soon enough, hopefully. But the work on the game, I think, is gradually picking up, which is good. They, like I said earlier on, need to slow down on adding stuff and just fix the game, which they kind of are doing. Most of the bugs are gone now, which is really, really good. They need to bring back, though, I think, how much mats you get from certain items. Like, I feel like I'm harvesting too much mats, like harvesting too much things to get so much mats, but I'll only come up with like 300 mats, which before I would have came up with 500. Like nerfing the llamas and stuff. They're trying to nerf, I think, the building, which is what makes Fortnite and better than all the other Battle Royale games in a way, because it's so unique. But they're taking away from the uniqueness of the game by like nerfing mats and like how much mats you'll get, so you won't be able to build as much in that game, I think, anyway. I think the season pass is great every single season nearly. This one has probably been the best one so far, with the XP for getting to the next tier of your skin. Whereas last season you had to, I think, get to level 100 in that season, which was a bit dumb because if you didn't play that much, you're not going to get that. Whereas this season now will carry on to the next season, so you can just keep getting the XP towards that skin, which is really, really great for the game. I think Save the World is coming out this year. Obviously, it has nothing to do with the Battle Royale, but I think that would save Fortnite in a way. It would bring players back, get them hyped with the game again, because you'll see Save the World, everyone will be playing that. They'll give that a go. Go back onto the Battle Royale. If you're an old player and you stop playing, you'll come back, you'll play the Save the World. You're like, oh, I'll see what's new with the Battle Royale. If the game's at a good point when Save the World comes out, then returning players might just stay and come back for good, which I feel I'm coming back to the game. I'm coming back to the game gradually now again, after taking a hiatus for a few weeks, but I see the game is getting a lot better. I think it has a bright future ahead of it anyway. They need to add a few more items, but later down the line. Like, not add like more guns. I think the guns are good for now. Maybe a few more ways to heal, or a few more ways to get better, like more mats, different building types or something like that, I don't know. I think the LTMs are all great so far. Obviously, it took them a while to tweak them, but like bringing out the whole competitive scene and stuff like that is great, because it'll push it to esports and stuff, which is really, really good for the game. That's the way it needs to go if it wants to stay relevant. I think the esports is the whole way every game goes these days. One thing I also see coming up is PUBG versus Fortnite. Which one's better? I think, in my personal opinion anyway, PUBG is more for the realistic side of the game. Plays a lot like my favourite game, DayZ, so that's why I kind of prefer it in that way. Whereas Fortnite's a lot more unique, it's a lot more cartoony and arcadey, so it'll appeal to all audiences. Like, it has a wider range for the audience, whereas PUBG would be more for like teens and mature people, I think, whereas Fortnite would be for the kids up to the older generation of people, which I think is really, really good. With the arrival, though, of new survival games that might kill off the Battle Royale scene, who knows? I have a feeling the BR is a lot like the zombie genre was a few years ago, where it will get really, really good like DayZ was, with all these promises and the whole hype around it, to the point where you'll start adding a bunch of useless crap to the game. It will go downhill. Like the big companies now, like Activision and EA, releasing Battle Royale, coming with Battlefield 5 and COD, might be terrible for the whole Battle Royale scene. They're just jumping in on the bandwagon, I feel, just to stay relevant and get players to come from the Battle Royale games over to their game, whereas you're going to tear the whole community apart for the Battle Royale. The whole Battle Royale train then will go off and just crash and burn, I feel, like the whole zombie genre, and it may die then that way. Whereas the survival games might then come back out on top, because there's a lot of new survival games with cool concepts coming out, and they might be just better developed than all these Battle Royale games that are already out, and might release in a better state than half of these Battle Royale games that are right now, with all their bugs, which might come out like fully polished and everything, with fully working gameplay and mechanics, which would be very, very good to see. Can't wait for new games to come out, like Fallout 76 might be a really good game. Hopefully no Battle Royale anyway, or anything like that, would be a really good survival game anyway. That's really all I want to talk about in this Fortnite video anyway, guys, and the whole scene around Battle Royale and survival games. If you liked the video, give it a like, comment, hopefully you'll subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Thanks for watching.